Hello and welcome to Scenes from a Bar off North Halsted. This is another visual novel by Shiroooo. You might be going, who is Shiroooo again? They're the ones that did forgot what it was called. It was something powdered, something about snow. There's like zombies. There's two characters that are off patrolling, looking for some people who went missing, I think, and they got caught with their pants down by zombies or by somebody that breaks in, I think. I forget. But then one of the other visual novels that they did was A Thousand Yards, which was about somebody's twin brother that goes missing and eventually is found. But yeah, it was a sad one. But yeah, so this one promises to be a bit more lighthearted. It is supposed to be part of the this past game jam that was done where the theme was like love and relationships and stuff like that. And yeah, I believe the sprites were made by Niconator. So, like, if you know their work, their comic and stuff like that, then you should probably know who that is or what to expect. Anyway, so yeah, it should be a short visual novel. I'm still a little bit sick. I'm still a little bit stuffed up, but feeling a little bit better now. So yeah. Anywho, so without further ado, let us begin Scenes from a Bar off North Halsted. I think this place is cursed. No, really. I check my watch. 9:30 at Boogie's off North Halsted. This guy agreed to meet me here at 9:30. I take another sip from the old-fashioned. Ice crashes back right into my snout. Damn, empty. Getting stood up fucking sucks. No, Mac, listen. He's just running late. The L is behind schedule, or there's traffic on Lakeshore Drive like there always is. I try to tell myself that, but I don't really believe it. I mean, come on, do you? I pull my phone out and look at his profile again. Ethrin Red-Tailed Hawk, 26. UIUC, business, 20, looking for something casual. I'll be real. He looks like an asshole, the exact kind of guy who would have called me a slur back in high school. I guess that's the effect of a quarter zipper, right? But hey, I shouldn't judge a book by its cover. This time, he reached out to me. The last message was me saying that I was here already. He didn't respond. Or even like the message, actually. I put my phone back up. Yeah, this place is definitely cursed. I don't think that I've had a date go right at Boogie since... ever, actually. Why the hell do I keep coming back here? Here, Mac. Long Island iced tea for you. Oh, thanks, Clem. Right. I come here for the Long Island iced tea on tap. And because Clem and I are friends. The place is mostly empty right now, but... Oh, nice. A big elephant stands over a broken highball glass and a puddle of Tom Collins after an apparent collision with someone. Dumbass had his snout stuck in his phone, which dropped to the ground and plopped in the mix of gin and tonic water. Don't people know not to walk around staring at their phones? Oh. Fucking yeah. Clem growls behind me as he stomps out from behind the bar to clean up the mess. The elephant walks sheepishly over to the other side of the bar and sits alone. Well, if Ethrin doesn't show up, I can always go hit on him. I do love a big man. As I watch him dab a napkin on his shirt, I remember another date that I went on a while back. Another case of the boogie's curse, if you ask me. A few months earlier. Come on, I want your full, unadulterated opinion. I show Clem the guy's dating app profile on my phone, and he leans onto the countertop to look. You sure? Yep. Positive? Jesus, Clem, yes. I think he looks like a dweeb, man. What? First, his name is Baxter. That's a dweeb name. Hey, you shut your whore mouth. Baxter is a good name. Second, I mean, come on. A fishing picture? I really don't want to ask this guy who he voted for in 2020, or 2024 for that matter. Okay, just because a guy likes to fish doesn't mean that he's a Republican. I like to fish. Yes, but that's just because you're a yoper, man. No offense. That's not supposed to be offensive. I don't know, man. I always thought people from the Upper Peninsula came out of the womb being able to skin a buck. First, it must be said that I have yet to forgive Clem's antiquated opinions of yopers. And as far as I know, he still believes them. I've never once skinned a buck in my life, much less as a kid. Okay, well, the basics of doing so were covered in the survival training my parents put me in, but I never actually did it. I think it was more of an issue of having an insane family than just being from Marquette. In the future, I would learn that Clem actually has a pretty good eye for weirdos. Thankfully, as you'll see, this Baxter guy wasn't that bad, but I probably should have listened to Clem. Would have saved me some money and some dignity too. I just shrug. I think he's cute, and he seemed nice. Plus, he has a good taste in music. I forget you like bro country, man. Are you trying to roast him or me? Either way, I think it'll be fine. I'll be cheering you on from over there, Mac. Thanks, man. I grab my cocktail, just a vodka cran. Something nice and simple and unpretentious. I'm staring down at his profile on my phone. Damn, looks nice carrying that bale of hay, huh? When I turn around to go towards one of the booths, I bump right into some horse and his date. The vodka cranberry spills out of the cup and pours onto my chest before the glass crashes to the ground. Fuck! Watch it! With every second that passes, I can feel the cranberry juice running down my chest and staining my fur. The horse pulls his date closer and they both saunter away. I think people would know not to walk around staring at their phones. Okay, asshole. I got it, Mac. Clem's already appeared on our side of the bar, brushing up the busted glass with a broom. I'll pour you a new one. Go clean yourself up, man. God, thanks, Clem. You're a lifesaver. I hurried to the bathroom. There are important things to mention with this bathroom. First, it's just a room. No stalls or anything. You lock the bathroom door when you come in. It's not a deadbolt, though. Just one of those little turny things on the doorknob. I don't know what they're called. You know what I'm talking about, right? They're flimsy as hell, and you can never tell if they're actually locked or not. This is important. Trust me. When I look in the mirror, what was previously my vodka cranberry has dripped down my chest and into my pants. Fuck. I pull off my jacket and my pants, since they're both black leather, and they were spared the worst of the damage. My fur, though? It's nice and red. I take off my underwear and start scrubbing it, and my chest fur to try and get the stains from the cranberry juice. Now, I know what you're gonna say to me. Mac, why the hell did you take your pants off? Are you dumb? Yes, I am. But in my defense, I had a date in 30 seconds and I didn't want to look like I just got out of Bates Motel or something. So cut me a bit of slack, okay? I scrub my fur and my underwear with shitty soap and some paper towels fully naked. Remember what I said about the door and the lock? Yeah, here's where it's important. I hear the door handle twist and I turn back, assuming that they're gonna jiggle the handle and realize that it's locked. Or they're gonna ask if somebody is in there, to which I have to yell, occupied, or something. But nope, the door wide open. And there in the doorway is Baxter. I think it takes him a moment to realize what he's looking at, or who he's looking at, because he stares at me with a confused expression before realizing, holy shit, this is the guy that I'm supposed to meet here? His face lights up red and I yelp, immediately trying to cover myself up with a bunch of paper towels and a pair of crimson-stained underwear. Get out, damn it! Ah, I'm sorry. He scrambles with the door for a moment before he slams it shut. I run over to the door and turn the knob. Hopefully, it's actually locked now. I jiggle the handle a few times. Yep, locked. So at this point, I'm thinking, wow, death sounds pretty awesome right now. If not death, then at least sneaking out of the bar and ditching the guy. But now I've got some poor guy sitting out there waiting for me. And all that he's seen of me is my dating profile and my, vestibule. Which, to be fair, isn't too far off from some of my interactions on hookup apps. But it's not exactly the best first impression. I would have felt really bad if that was all that he knew about me. Plus, I generally consider myself above ghosting people. I finish scrubbing off my chest, I get dressed, and go back into the bar. When I get back out there, I see Baxter sitting at one of the booths. He's got a big stein of beer in his hand, and there's a rocks glass filled with vodka cran sitting across from him. Thanks, Clem. When I walk over, he sees me and his face flushes. Hey. Hi. The bartender told me to sit here. He gave me a drink for you. That sounds like Clem. I run a hand through my head fur as I sit down across the booth from him. Listen, I'm sorry that you had to see that, and I'm sorry for yelling at you. Oh lord, no. I should be apologizing to you. It's fine, I promise. I guess I thought I locked the door. We both chuckle a little bit, and our table goes quiet. Baxter's face is still beet red. After a bit of silence, Baxter claps his hands. Well, how's about we just start over? That sounds good to me. He offers a hand across the table. Baxter Kaminsky, it's good to meet you in person. Macaulay Steiger? But you can just call me Mac. His hands are big and calloused. I'll be honest, I didn't expect to go on a date with, you know. Uh-oh. He stumbles over his words for a few moments. I raise a suspicious eyebrow. What exactly? You know, He looks around. Transgendered. My mouth drops open. What? Baxter sputters to respond. But that isn't a problem. Not for me, no sir. I just ain't ever dated one before, that's all. Haven't even met one, to be honest. Never? Well, sure. Seems like there aren't many of y'all out in Nebraska. But that's not a bad thing, I promise. I ain't one of those bigots, I promise you that. No, sir. I promise. I'll screw you no matter what you got down there. If you know what I'm saying. I mean, I don't really know how y'all like it, but like, hey, I'm always willing to try something. Variety's the spice of life, right? Thanks? My face is bright red. I should have tapped out right here, man. Oh, damn it. I'm sorry, my roommate is calling me. Our radiator is spraying hot water all over the place. You know how that is. Old-ass apartments, am I right? I'm sorry, man, I gotta go. I forgot some of my friends are having a Sex in the City marathon tonight. Gotta be there. Some excuse like that probably would have worked. But of course, my dumbass thought that I could still salvage this date. At least, he was being respectful, right? It struck me as way more just him being a dumbass or being uninformed rather than some kind of transphobic shit. But I brushed it off. So, You said you're from Nebraska, right? Yep, I'm a cornhusker, born and raised. Grew up on a farm with my family. Oh, here we go. Something to connect with. That's cool. I grew up out in the boonies too. Not on a farm though. Aw, that's too bad. I loved it. What all did you guys grow? Oh gosh, let's see. Corn, soy, hay, wheat, potatoes. He goes on for a while. Jesus, this is a lot to grow for a little family farm. Oh shit, now we're onto livestock? And some honeybees, since we let a local beekeeper club keep their hives on our property. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Is your family, like, huge or something? Baxter's face reddens. Yeah, but, why do you ask? Well, I just figured that it was a smaller family farm, you know. Sorry. Oh, I can see why you think that. We do hire some extra workers, sure. I'd still say that it's a family farm, honestly. I mean, most farmers do hire extra work, especially around the... God. Baxter, please, let me read. How many workers? Baxter chuckles. Oh, I'd say maybe 150? 200? That's not exactly what I'd call a family farm. Wow. Well, Daddy's been real successful, so... I see. A pause. We drink. Tranquility returns. I think that's the first time that he's stopped talking in a bit. So, what made you move to Chicago? Oh, I moved here for a job after college. It was either here or Milwaukee, and who wants to move to Milwaukee, right? Oh, I'm the same. I just moved up here maybe a month ago. I worked on our farm after I graduated, but I wanted to do something else. Besides, my daddy wanted me to get some business experience. Since, you know, it takes a lot more than farming know-how to run a farm, even if it's just a little family affair like ours. He got me a job with one of his old friends. It was real nice to not have to apply and everything. Nepotism. I see. I hope my annoyance doesn't show on my face. So, where do you work? Oh, that big old building downtown. There's, a lot of those. Baxter chuckles at that. I know, but like, the big, big one. It's all black and... Wait, you work at the Sears Tower? Or I guess the Willie's Tower if you're a weenie? Yeah, that's the one. Still getting used to the vertical that you get when you go up that high. And the cold. I don't know how y'all get used to that. It got cold out in Nebraska, but that kind of cold ain't nothing compared to the cold here. And the subway. That's still real weird to me. It's smelly. Why is it so smelly? And I'm saying this as someone who's mucked a stall before. I mean, have y'all ever mucked a stall before? Well, I guess since you said that you ain't ever worked on a farm before, that answer's gonna be no. I'm telling you, it's... I would later find out that this dweeb worked for Lance Hastings, the CEO of Halsted. You know, the company who thinks that water isn't a human right or insists that they need kids to harvest the beans that end up as chocolate, oh, so Nestle. Not a great look, but he definitely got paid more than I did at the First Savings Bank of North Chicago, so hey, who am I to judge, right? Plus, he's the one who's gonna inherit Daddy's farm. Again, if I had just listened to Clem, I really could have avoided all of this. The rest of the date was pretty much just a blur, to be honest. A lot of him talking. I think he offered me a job at his dad's farm out in Nebraska. I said no. As crappy as it is, I'd like to keep my job at the bank. After this date, he spanned me a lot before he lost interest in me. The ringing of the bell at the bar's front door snaps me out of my reminiscing. That date kinda sucked. I think I spoke a grand total of 10, maybe 15 times that night. And if you're wondering, Yes, Baxter's oratory style carries over to his texting. I don't think that I've ever seen a man send that many consecutive texts before. When I look over to see who's coming in, hoping that it's Ethrin, of course, I'm greeted with a stout plume of colorful feathers. Oh, it's this guy. He stares at me for a moment before looking forwards to Clem. Yes, I'd like a Takumi's Aviation, please. God, he even orders his drink like an asshole. What? Fine. Just a normal aviation, please. I still don't know what you mean. Wow, there's no creme de villet in Boys Town? Clem opens his mouth to retort before closing it and shrugging. What the fuck is that? Fine. Gin martini. Dirty. Want to start a tab? Please. He turns around, staring me down again before he struts over to one of the tables towards the middle of the bar. I don't know why he's doing that. You gotta go up to the bar to grab your drink anyways. Clem isn't gonna take it to you. This isn't Kumiko or something. Sorry, this dude annoys me. Well, I guess he's on the prowl. I won't fall for him again, even if my date tonight ends up ghosting me. Though, it is fun to watch his tail shake back and forth when he walks. I forgot how handsome he is. What even was this guy's name? I think I tried to purge everything about our date from my memories, and his name got cut up in it. Wait, I remember. It was... a few months earlier. Arthur Van Leeuwen? Yeah, doesn't his name make him sound super professional? Mac. He's a professor. Of course his name sounds professional. We're practically shouting. Boogies is busy as hell tonight. You're right. What's your appraisal? Mac, every time that I give you an appraisal of a guy, you don't listen. I should really start charging you for my work. Or maybe I should go with a free premium model. Clem, come on. You're my wingman. Besides, I have terrible taste in men. You know this. That's true. Okay, rude. But also, think of all the times that I've gone to clubs with you and helped you out. I literally introduced you to Max. Remember? Also true. Clem sighs and rubs a hand through his head for... Sorry. All the people in here are stressing me out, and if another asshole makes me get an egg to make an amaretto sour, I might lose it. Why do all gay people have the same taste in alcohol? Except for you, Mac. Thank you. Alright, let me get a good look at this guy. Clem leans across the bar to look at my phone. Oh, he's handsome. The age gap weirds me out, though. A guy in his 50s matching with you gives me an odd vibe. Plus, there's a ring on his finger. See? I think this guy's got a beard. Either that or he's looking to get away from his wife. Shit, he's right. I didn't even notice that ring. Damn. Well, maybe he's got a husband that he's looking to get away from? Does that really make it better? Either way, I don't want an angry housewife or house husband, for that matter, chasing you down because you started to get with their man. You're right. I scratch my chin. But also, since he's in his 50s, he has to be an expert at this sort of thing by now, right? Clem laughs and shakes his head. I'd hope so. Either way, I think you should see how tonight goes, and maybe broach the subject with a bit of tact. You act like I don't have any tact. I have tons of tact. There's a tap on my shoulder. Hello there, you must be Macaulay? I chuckle. Yep, I'm Mac. It's nice to meet you in person. Wow, this guy is short. It's nice to meet you, Macaulay. I'm Dr. Arthur Van Leeuwen. And he's a fan of his titles, I guess. After we grab our drinks, we go and sit down at one of the booths. Thankfully, someone got up right as we were looking for a seat. I have a small lesson for you. In my opinion, you can tell a lot about a guy based by what kind of cocktail he orders. If it's something fruity, you can guess that the man is also fruity. I know that's a stereotype before you get all mad at me, but sometimes stereotypes are true. Someone who's getting an old-fashioned or a Manhattan is wanting to look all refined and cool. Any of those old classic cocktails, really. But every now and then, you get the snootiest person in the world who orders the most random, complex cocktail possible. They do it under the guise of being an aficionado and wishing to only drink the modern classics or whatever. Next time you're at a bar, pay attention. You'll see that I'm right. A boulevardier. What? He scowls. A boulevardier. Whiskey, Campray, vermouth. I would have gotten a Vic Carry, but I doubt that this place carries a Benedictine. He takes it up to his beak and takes a swanky sip. I nod and look down at my silly old-fashioned by comparison. So... it's like a Negroni, right? No, a Negroni is like a boulevardier. It was invented first, you know. Oh, I didn't know that. I always thought that the old-fashioned was the oldest one around, right? I smile and his face remains stone. No, that's the Sazerac. Oh, well, I guess that one didn't really work. He swirls his drink for a moment before taking another sip. Then he just stares. I chuckle. Nothing. What the hell? So, you said you're a professor in your profile. What do you teach? I'm a professor of philosophy. Whoa, that's really cool. I agree. Of course I am biased. He chuckles and takes a sip from his drink. Well, has anyone come up with the answer to the ship of Theseus thing yet? He looks at me. What? You know, the ship of Theseus? Yes, I know what the ship of Theseus is. What about it? I sigh and take a sip of my drink. Sorry, I was trying to make a joke. Like if people come up with the answer for it yet. He furrows his eyebrows and nods. I see. Wow, good one, Mac. Well, it really depends on the way that you approach it. Many people say that the wood the ship is made of is not necessarily the identity of the ship, but... He pauses. Am I boring you? My fur stands on end. No. I'm sorry. I've never taken a philosophy class, so I don't really know anything about it. Oh, I see. He sips from his drink. So if not philosophy, then what do you do? Oh, well, I work at the First Savings Bank of North Chicago. Not exactly the most glamorous of occupations. I see the smile begin to slip off of his face. Shit, I gotta save this. But I like to be a writer. It's just a job that pays the bills for now. This gets its attention. Oh, what do you write? Mainly short stories. I haven't had much success submitting them to many places. I probably should have majored in creative writing when I was at college, but I think my parents would have killed me if I did that. They wanted me to do something useful. He raises an eyebrow. Which is? Business, unfortunately. He huffs, and the almost pleased expression on his face transforms into one of disgust. Ugh. I stammer to try and save this. That's my thoughts too. Listen, I just did it so that I didn't have to hear my parents pester me about it. I detest those business types. Always so self-important, always overshadowing other departments in the name of practicality. I tell you, I believe the business major to be the downfall of higher education in this country. But no, allow us to bring in more mediocre students for our universities with the promise of an accounting degree. You know who wasn't a business major? Our founding fathers, the great philosophers and writers and thinkers of old. Well, At least I know what supply and demand is. Arthur scowls. Another joke that didn't land. Damn it. I look down. My old fashioned is empty. Thank the Lord. I can use this as the chance to reset the conversation. I'm gonna go back up and refill. You need anything? No, I'm fine. I tend to take my time with my drinks. I can't tell if that's meant to be a jab or not. I put my order in with Clem. I tell him to make me something fancy like what Arthur's got. He shook his head and told me that he was going to make me a penicillin, whatever that is. Okay, Mac, we gotta lock in and save this date. What is this guy like? Philosophy? Jesus, Mac, he's a professor of philosophy. He's gonna bite your head off if you try another joke like the ship of Theseus one. Alright then. Maybe alcohol? No way. I thought his eyes were gonna pop out of his skull when I said the old-fashioned was the oldest cocktail around. Writing? That's it. That was about the only time that he seemed to enjoy the conversation that we were having. I'll dazzle him with my literary prowess. I'm a genius. Here's your penicillin. What is it? Scotch, ginger, honey, lemon juice. Sounds tasty. I grab the golden cocktail from the counter and start to head back to our table. Go get him, Tiger. When I head back to our table, I set my drink down on the coaster. Arthur looks at it and then looks back up at me. Is that a penicillin? Of course. His beak curves a bit into a smile. You've got good taste. Bang, my plan is already starting to work. I take a sip. Jesus, the scotch is strong. I hope I don't show it on my face too much. It seems like you were interested in my writing. Are you much of a reader? I do my best. It can be hard when I have to read a bunch of horrid papers for a freshman philosophy class. What sort of writing do you enjoy then? Oh, I enjoy the works of Pycon personally. Oh no. Listen, not to disparage anyone who likes Pycon, but he's a writer I can't really handle. Some people like plots which somehow interweave with the creation of the V-2 rockets by the Nazis, the bones of World War II vets being used to make charcoal, and the Madoff scandal, but I am not one of those people. I can approach the work and genius that went into writing that sort of thing, I promise. But when I tried to read Gravity's Rainbow a few years back, I thought my head would fucking explode. Arthur swirls around his Belvedere on the table. That face makes it seem like you're not a fan of Pycon. I chuckle and shrug. He's not really my type, I guess. The smile drops from his face. I mean, I don't want to act like his writing is bad. No, I understand. It can be dense and quite theoretical, especially if you don't have the experience of varied fields in your business studies. No offense. That isn't meant to be offensive? Obviously not. Okay. I sigh and take another sip from my drink. The scotch isn't as strong anymore. He sets his hands on the table between us, and my eyes dart down to his left hand. On his ring finger is that golden wedding band. He must notice where my eyes are looking because he sighs and massages his temple. I see you've noticed my ring. Yeah. Well, in truth, I've been glancing at it any time he brings up his left hand to his cup. I'm glad that Clem pointed it out to me, to be honest. I've been wanting to ask. Please let me be frank with you. Yes, I am married. No, I am not trying to have an affair. Me and my wife, our passion for each other has died out of some late. Things have become boring, stagnant, and unfun. Wow, you mean this guy isn't fun? I'm so surprised. It was my idea, which she consented to bring in a third. I thought that it would, spice things up a bit. It was my intention to proposition you. He pauses and stares at me. My mouth is gaping open for surprise. I close it. I take it you're not interested? Wait, slow down. Did you just ask me out so that you could have a threesome? Yes, but it's clear that you aren't interested. I feel like my face is bright red. I feel like it's important to say that I am not a prude. I promise. Like, I've done stuff with married couples before, and maybe I would have accepted Arthur's offer some other time. I just want to let you know that before you start saying, wow, what a dork, who the hell would pass up a threesome? It's not that I'm not interested. I'm just. I came here looking for a relationship, not a hookup. I mean, hell, that's why we met on Meet Cute and not Prowler. Is there really any difference? Arthur shrugs and takes a sip of his drink. I stammer to respond. What? Of course there is. Listen, when you become my age, some things become abundantly clear. One of those things is that hookups and relationships are one and the same. A hookup is merely two people getting together in order to feel something, anything, until that ecstasy goes and they split. Relationships are the same way. The only difference is that in relationships, you hold on to the ghost of that feeling for months, years, thinking that you can reach that climax again. And you can't. You never will. In all that time, all you've done is waste time grasping onto something that's been gone for years. He takes a long sip from his drink. Now with the glass empty, he sets it back down on the table and stands up. Wait, are you... Here, for the tab. I hope you find that relationship, Macaulay. He tosses a $20 bill on the table and struts out of the bar. $20 doesn't cover our tab. Asshole. When I look behind me, Arthur's there with some Lilith Panther and a Loyola Chicago sweater. Going after the Catholics now, I see. Whatever. I can tell that I'm a few drinks in because I'm starting to get crabby. Any luck? Clem leans over the bar. I shrug. I don't know where Ethrin is, man. Shit is annoying. Why don't you message him again? I don't want to come off as desperate. Jesus, Mac, just text him back. As I'm about to respond, someone on the other side of the bar shouts for Clem, and he goes over to tend to them. I get out my phone and check my app. I go to my messages and click on Ethrin's profile. What the hell? Blocked? His profile is grayed out and our DM is closed. Oh, fuck off. I drop my phone face down at the bar and bury my face in my hands. God damn it. Of course this is what was going to happen. The boogie's curse. Or really, it's probably just me. I keep fucking up with these dates not because I'm bringing them to boogies, but because it's just me. Is there something defective in my brain that keeps me from finding someone? Is that all? If that's the case, I should just delete my profile and recluse into my apartment. At least that way I wouldn't have the pain of continuously opening up myself to people just to get gut punched every time I try to get intimate. Being the perpetual bachelor wouldn't be so bad. Someone sits down next to me. Can I get a rum and coke? Sure. Thanks, man. He sighs. The big guy glances over to me and we make eye contact. Wait a minute. I know this guy. He squints at me and I can tell that he's trying to figure out where he knows me from. I guess I look pretty different from high school. Less? Yeah, but... He squints before his eyes widen. Wait, Maria? I shiver. Jesus, it's been years since anyone's called me that. Well, it's, Macaulay now, but... Holy shit! Before I can respond, he's wrapped me up in a huge hug. I chuckle and return it. God, he's strong. I mean, he's always been a big guy, but damn. When he lets go, Clem is staring at the two of us, rum and coke in hand. Mac? Do you know this guy? Oh, yeah, Clem, this is... Les Voorhees. We knew each other in high school. Les, this is Clem. Pleasure. They shake hands and Clem sets down his drink. Nice to meet you, man. Let me know if you tune in anything else. He struts away, leaving me and Les to stare awkwardly at each other. So, He looks me up and down with a smile. I feel my face redden. When did I transition? Yeah, sorry. It was like maybe a year or two after I graduated college. I saved up for it for a while. I thought your family would have hated that. Oh, they did. But once I made it clear that they'd either support me or get cut off, they became okay with it. And I think my dad liked it because it meant that he got another son. Seriously? Yeah, man. I think he's the only person that I've ever met to support trans men because it means that there's less women in the world. We laugh about that for a few moments. Anyways, what are you doing here, man? I thought you were playing football down in, like, Miami or something. Oh, well, I still am, technically. I'm gonna get traded to Chicago, so I came up here to get the lay of the land and talk with my coach. Well, welcome to the city. But also, what are you doing here? I mean, Boys Town is gay as hell. Yeah, well, I was here on a date. Across the street, actually. What? Les chuckles and swirls his drink around in his hand. I found out some other stuff about myself while I was in college, I guess. That happens, though. I guess I was just a late bloomer or whatever. Where's your date, then? He grumbles and leans back in his chair. It creaks under his weight. Nice. Ghosted me. What? I know, right? You Chicago guys are cold, man. I never got this kind of reception in Miami, I'll tell you that. No, I'm just surprised. I got ghosted tonight, too. Seriously? We laugh as we both scramble to pull out our phones. I'm glad that I screenshotted Ethren's profile to send to Clem before he ghosted me. Here's my guy, Ethren Red-Tailed Hawk, 26. UIUC Business, 20. Looking for something casual. He looks like an asshole. Right? There were like 20 guys in my frat back in college who looked exactly like this guy. I put my money on him only getting bi-curious when he's drunk. He leans over to show me his phone. He's so warm. Beneath the shattered screen of his phone is a picture of a Lilith raccoon, maybe tanuki. Ramon Bintarong, 28. Ah, that's what he is. My bad. I can't believe you'd get stood up by someone. I mean, you're a handsome guy. Les laughs and shakes his head. I hope that you'd find someone who went to football formal with handsome, but I appreciate it. I laugh. Right, we went together a few times, sophomore, junior, and senior years. He was always a good date. He knew that I was lesbian, at least at the time. That's what I identified as, and never tried to push it or anything. Geez, I'm surprised you remember that. I honestly forgot about it. Les frowns. Was I that bad of a date? It takes me a moment to realize that he's being serious. No, of course not. I just did my best to forget about high school in general, really. It was a weird time, a hard time. It's hard looking at those old pictures of myself before I realize what I was feeling inside, you know? Just seeing myself in a dress my mom forced onto me. I chuckle and shake my head. I appreciate you saying that. For what it's worth, I thought you were super pretty. Though, I think you're even prettier now. I feel my face flush under my fur. Pretty isn't a compliment that I'm used to hearing much anymore. But I'll take it. I can't believe someone would ghost you either. I shrug. I'm honestly not surprised. I feel like I've got shit luck when it comes to dating. Me too, man. Les takes a sip from his rum and coke. I do the same with my drink. Feels like every single time that I go on a date with someone, Everything just goes wrong. I say something dumb, or they're just a jerk and nothing ever clicks. Not like how it's supposed to, at least. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I nod and look forward towards the wall of booze on the other side of the bar. Hmm. You know, we could try something. Les looks over at me and raises an eyebrow. After everything that I just told you? I chuckle, scratching at the back of my neck. Well, I figured that we already know each other, and we both know that there isn't some kind of terrible thing that the other's done. At least, unless you've gotten into a cult or something since I last saw you. Les laughs at that. He takes a sip of his drink and sets it back down on the counter, empty. He looks over at me, his eyes appraising me. His face breaks out into a grin. Sure, why the hell not? Wait, really? I kinda didn't expect that to work. Booze is one hell of a social lubricant, I guess. It was a reason that I had enough courage to ask at least. Les is a nice guy, though. I'm sure everything will be fine. I just gotta be myself and... Mac, are you coming? Oh, yeah, sorry. I hop out of my bar stool and follow Les, who's surveying the rest of the bar. Is the booth fine? Perfect. The end. Oh, no credits? Um, but yeah, that was scenes from a bar off North Halsted. I did recall that it was supposed to be like this person is waiting for their date, which I guess never shows up, and they're replaying all these other dates that they had because it's the same bar that they keep going to. I had forgotten about that. But yeah, that was nice though. Oh, Blue Angels, how I missed you flying over my house when I'm recording. Anywho, um, I decided to read this despite the fact that, well, not even despite the fact, in spite of the fact that somebody had left a comment in the comment section of the itch.io page of this visual novel saying like, "Oh, I like the story, but I wish that it had like like a content warning or something because the main character's transgendered and that's not a story for me." It's like, really? That like broke your realism of the story? That broke your ability to connect with the character of the story? Anyways, some people. Anywho, so it's kind of nice that they maybe that they didn't find the right person yet, but that they found somebody, and that somebody is also, or no. In my experience, relationships have often needed time for them to develop and to know each other, get to know one another, and know your expectations, set your ground rules, et cetera, like that. Which, is something that like it's obvious, that's kind of like a no-brainer, yeah. But a lot of times, especially in our community, and by our community, I mean the people that are most likely watching my videos, we kind of go into it a little bit like expecting a lot instead of just going and saying like, let me go meet this person. Like even my previous boyfriend, who shall remain nameless, um, it it started off a little fast, and I kind of had to rein it in, which um, which thankfully helped. And as bad as it ended, it was a good way to start it because you get to know the people. Fortunately, this person kept a lot of things hidden, so like, ugh. You get your fair share of bad people despite how you begin a relationship, I guess. Especially if you started off from an app like I did, and like this person was doing. But it's so hard to meet people organically nowadays. Anyways, Uh, anyways, but yeah, so it's a nice story. And another banger from Shiro. Like saying it Shiro like that because I don't know if anyone has ever watched Gundam Wing, and there's a character called Relena Peacecraft that I make a lot of fun of because she always preaches about like, oh, we need to have like not peace or what was the other one? Like peace, but like peace without war or anything like that. And like the whole anime is supposed to be like, well, you can't really have peace without war because, you know, it's like ingrained in our thing or whatever. But what she there's a scene where she's talking about the main character whose name is Hiro Yui. And the scene she's like shouting at him going like Hero. So when I see Shiro's name, the creator or the writer, I guess, I say it's Shiro, especially because there's like extra O's at the end of the name. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah. Anywho, so what did you think of the visual novel? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play scenes from A Bar Off North or any of Shiro's other visual novels, they do have another one which is just like a text-based thing. It doesn't have um any sprites or anything. Um it's there if in case you want to read that. But all the other 3 visual novels that I did read from them are there too. They are a good writer, and it's sort of like I forgot their name. The one that wrote the What Love Feels Like, well, What It Feels Like, and the one with the bully, and then the other one, you know, the visual novels I just finished reading. Um, it's kind of like them where they're writing a story. It might be short, it might be a little long, but like you're gonna enjoy the ride. So I appreciate Shiro's writing. I hope to see more from them. Anywho, so yeah, um, those will be linked down in the description, or a link to their visual novels will be linked down into the description, and along with any other pertinent links. I don't remember if they ever had any form of support, but anything will be linked down, and along with my links too. My in case you want to become a channel member, it will be linked down, and in case you want to support me through Ko-fi, it will be linked down, and you know, Throne also be linked down. Yeah. Anywho, so yeah, I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.